Welcome to the property dedication ceremony for the Collier County State Veterans Nursing Home. I am retired Air Force Lieutenant Colonel Steve Murray with the Florida Department of Veterans Affairs. Someone else applauded. All right, hey, how about that? I should have come last year. And I have the honor of being your master of ceremonies this afternoon. And thank you for ordering this Chamber of Commerce weather. I don't know who did that. Bert, I'm sure that was you, sir. But thank you. Thank you all. And at this time, please stand for the invocation to be delivered by Reverend Michael P. Orsi.
I take issue. Bert did not order the weather.
We don't always agree. He was merely a conduit.
This is really a miracle day. It really is. We've prayed for this and hoped for this for so long, and we are very, very blessed to have this veterans home right here in Collier County. We have wonderful leaders here in the county, Kathleen Pasidomo, and worked so hard for this, and of course Bert's been instrumental in this. They make miracles happen. I want to thank our Congressman Mario Diaz-Balart and also Senator Rick Scott and so many other people. God uses folks like us to make his miracles happen. So let us pray. Almighty God, source of all freedom and guardian of all who serve, we gather today with grateful hearts on this sacred ground. We acknowledge your presence among us as we dedicate this land for a home that will stand as a place of refuge, honor, and peace for those who have worn the uniform of our nation. We give thanks for the veterans whose courage and sacrifice have secured the liberties we enjoy. From every generation and every branch of service, they answer the call, often at great personal cost. May this place be a living testament to our enduring gratitude and to our solemn promise that their service will never be forgotten. Bless this land we dedicate today. May it become a haven of comfort, dignity, and healing. May those who dwell here find rest after years of duty, companionship after sacrifice, and care that reflects the esteem in which they are held. We ask your blessing upon the leaders, planners, and builders, caregivers, and all who labor to bring this vision to completion. Grant them wisdom, integrity, perseverance, that this home to be erected on this site may be built not only with strong foundations, but with compassion, respect, and honor. Bless the families of our veterans who also bore the weight of service through separation, worry, and sacrifice. May they find reassurance in knowing their loved ones are remembered and cherished. Finally, we ask your blessing upon Collier County in this great state of Florida and the United States of America. Guide us always to be a nation worthy of those who have defended it. With humility and gratitude, we dedicate this land, trusting it to your care and to the noble purpose for which it has been set apart. Amen.
Thank you, Reverend. That certainly sets us off on the right tone. Color Guard, march on the colors.
Time, mark. Detail. Pull. Left. Face. Present. Order.
To lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance, please welcome former Vietnam prisoner of war, Captain Wayne Smith of the United States Air Force, who endured 1,882 days in captivity and is an inspiration to us all.
Thank you. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. Captain Smith, thank you for honoring us again today. Let's give a round of applause for not only the captain, but from our all-volunteer honor guard from DFW Post 7721. Thank you. Senator Rick Scott, a veteran of the United States Navy, sends his warm regards via a message from his Southwest Florida Regional Director, Aaron Deaver. Aaron, would you please come forward?
Thank you. That was sweet, whoever yelled my name. Senator wished he could be here today. Unfortunately, he was unable to, but he did write a letter for me to read on his behalf. It is my honor to recognize and congratulate the Florida Department of Veterans Affairs and Collier County on the property dedication ceremony for the State Veterans Nursing Home. Thank you for your incredible commitment to meeting the needs of our nation's veterans by providing housing, personalized supportive services, and primary medical care for disabled and elderly veterans. As a Navy veteran and the son of a World War II veteran, I know firsthand the sacrifices our veterans, military members, and their families make to defend our freedoms. Veterans of our armed forces truly represent the best of what it means to be an American. None of the opportunities and freedoms we have as Americans would be possible without the dedicated service of our brave heroes. As your United States Senator and a member of the Senate Committee on Armed Services, I will always fight to make sure you have the resources you need to care for your nation's veterans and their loved ones. I know the health care is important part of every person's life, and I will continue to fight every day to ensure access to quality care and ease the burden on families. Congratulations again on today's property dedication ceremony, and thank you for your service to our state and our veterans. Your hard work and dedication are what make our state the best place to live, work, and raise a family. I wish you the best for your continued success. Your United States Senator, Rick Scott.
Thank you, Aaron. And as you know, Congress has a busy 2026 agenda ahead of it, and the House of Representatives is in session today, precluding Congressman Mario Diaz-Balart to join us this afternoon. But his Deputy Chief of Staff is here, no stranger to the district and the Collier community. Miguel Ortera, would you please come forward with a letter from the Congressman?
Good afternoon, everyone. As he said, unfortunately, the congressman is in D.C. today since he has votes. He asked me to read the following. To the veterans who heroically defend our nation and to the men and women here today who have come out to support them, thank you. It is a privilege to represent such a community of patriots in all corners of Florida's 26th congressional district. Leadership matters, and I'm deeply grateful for the leadership of Commissioner Bert Saunders, Dr. J.B. Holmes, current VFW Post Commander Michael Ricci, and former VFW Commander Gamal Tony Reyes for their tireless work on behalf of veterans. I commend each of you for your leadership and unwavering commitment to honoring and supporting our county's heroes. This Veterans Nursing Home would not be possible today without your dedication and advocacy on behalf of those who serve our country. I am deeply honored and proud to represent key parts of Collier County, the most veteran-friendly county in the state. Over 1.4 million veterans call the state of Florida home, with approximately 28,000 living in Collier County. making it the state with the third largest veteran population in our nation. Our gratitude can never be enough for the service and sacrifice of our brave men and women in uniform. As your representative in Congress, I remain a steadfast supporter of our nation's veterans. I am proud of my track record of cutting wasteful spending while consistently delivering for my district by securing funds that reflect our values, including strong support for the brave men and women in the U.S. Armed Forces. In my role as Vice Chair of the House Appropriations Committee, I have successfully advocated for construction of a 120-bed skilled nursing veterans nursing home facility, as well as a domiciliary and adult day health care center in Collier County to satisfy the community's needs. Supporting our veterans is not just a responsibility, but a solemn duty that I take very seriously. Last year, we commemorated the 250th anniversary of the U.S. Army, Navy, and Marine Corps, and this year we will mark the most important milestone in our community's history, 250 years of American independence. I remain steadfast in my work with the President and my colleagues to ensure our veterans, our fallen heroes, and their families continue to receive the support they so greatly deserve. Thank you again to Commissioner Bert Saunders, Dr. J.B. Holmes, for your leadership. It is a pleasure to work with you, and it is a true privilege to represent so many courageous veterans like those gathered here today. Sincerely, Mario Diaz-Balart, Member of Congress.
Someone's buying the bar. Thank you, Miguel. Well, in appreciation of Collier County veterans and indeed veterans throughout Southwest Florida, it is my distinct honor and privilege to introduce to you from the 28th District, State Senator and immediate past President of the Florida Senate, Kathleen Passidomo.
Gonna make it shorter. Good afternoon. It is such a pleasure, an honor, and a thrill to be here with you today. Thank you to the Florida Department of Veterans Affairs and Collier County for hosting the celebration and including me. To the veterans with us today, your courage, your sacrifice, and your devotion to freedom inspire us all. From the bottom of my heart, thank you for your service. Many of you know my father served as an officer in the United States Navy from 1947 to 1949, and later at the U.S. Naval Hospital during the Korean War. I saw firsthand how a life of service shaped who he was, the values of our military, honor, courage, commitment, stayed with him long after he retired his uniform. They were values that not only guided his life, but he instilled in his children. I carry them with me today. It is so important that we honor and support the Americans like my dad, who selflessly defended our nation. We can never repay them for their service and sacrifice, but we can ensure they have access to the resources they need. Florida is home to roughly 1.5 million veterans, and we have made it a priority to serve the American patriots who served our country. In recent years, we have created a veteran-dedicated support line to assist veterans and their families with behavioral health needs. We have enhanced access to veterans treatment courts, which are problem-solving courts that divert veterans to programs that can help with underlying service-related conditions or combat-related trauma. We have waived tuition fees for veterans interested in furthering their academic careers. We have increased eligibility for veterans to start new careers that may have required a certification, but for which their service is qualification enough. We have created pathways to home ownership and future prosperities. We know that many veterans require support as they age. It is our commitment to offer compassionate, dignified care options that is worthy of their service. Florida is proud to offer 8 skilled nursing facilities and 1 assisted living facility statewide to help the unique needs of our veterans. And we're about to expand on that. I am so excited to celebrate the dedication of more than 23 acres right here in Collier County for the purpose of skilled nursing services and workday respite services. This dedication represents more than land. It represents a promise to America's greatest, a promise to provide quality, long-term care, a promise to support caregivers and families, and a promise to honor our veterans. This property will one day serve as a home to hundreds of Floridians who answered our nation's call to serve. It will enable America's heroes to age with dignity, comfort, and compassion. It will stand as a lasting symbol of our gratitude. Commissioner Saunders, Director Hartzell, and I think I saw Bob Asselos here, who was a big deal back then, and all the local leaders who helped to make today's dedication possible. Thank you for your leadership and continued support of Florida's veterans.
Thank you, Senator Pasadomo. Now to comment on why Collier County is the most veteran-friendly county in Florida. It is my distinct honor to introduce to you someone that we all know and love, the Collier County Board of Commissioners Chairman Bert Saunders. Bert. Thank you.
Well, first I want to thank all of you for being here today. The weather really cooperated. I wanted to thank a veteran, but I didn't see any veterans when I came in. Are there any veterans in the house? For the veterans in the house, and for all of the veterans in Florida, thank you for your service, and thank you again for being here for this land dedication ceremony. Before I make a few remarks about the facility and what we're doing here, I was instructed by our staff to introduce a whole bunch of people. And so I will apologize in advance if I leave anybody off, but I have a list, and that was prepared for me, so I'm not responsible for it. There is one short list I am responsible for because I made it. We have the entire county commission here. This project would not be a reality without the entire county commission committed to this project. So let me introduce Commissioner LaCastro, District 1, Commissioner Hall, District 2, Commissioner Kowal, District 4. I'm 4. And Commissioner Bill McDaniel, District 5. So I'm going to talk a little bit about the county commission in a few minutes, but they were obviously instrumental in making all this happen. So let me go through the list that was prepared for me. It's going to take 15, 20, 30 minutes, but we'll get through it. First of all, I want to welcome and thank our partners from the Florida Department of Veterans Affairs, Executive Director Major General James Hartzell, and Director of Communications and External Affairs, Lieutenant Colonel Steve Murray. And we have a special guest here from Tallahassee, Bob Estalis. Bob Estalis is not with the Florida Department of Veterans Affairs any longer, but he was up until August of this year when he was promoted from the Florida Department of Veterans Affairs to head up the Agency for Persons with Disability, where I know he will do wonderful things. Bob and I kind of go way back. He's an expert on nursing homes, and that's why he was with the Florida Department of Veterans Affairs for so long. He's their real expert in nursing homes. But he and I go way back. I remember working with him when I was in the Senate so long ago, I'm not going to tell you how long ago. But let's just say a lot of people in this audience weren't even born at that time. So, if you had come out here yesterday, you would have noticed that this site was in terrible condition. And we have a couple people in our staff that are in a couple departments that are responsible for really making this a very pleasant event, a very pleasant evening. So let me go through a couple of those. First of all, County Manager Amy Patterson, who made sure everything came together. Deputy Manager Ed Finn, I saw him here, he's here. And then we have John Mullins, John Mullins and his staff facilitated all of this, and I'm going to talk a little bit more about John in a few minutes, but if it wasn't for John Mullins, we probably wouldn't have any tents here. And so thank you, John, for everything that you do. And then in terms of cleaning the parking lots and all of that, we have the Park and Recreation Division, Department Head Jamie French, and the Park and Recreation team. We have Road, Bridge, and Stormwater Maintenance Division, Department Head Trinity Scott and Director Marshall Miller and his team. Trinity is the one to call if you have a problem with traffic. You can stop calling us. She can do something. We can't. Facilities Management Division, Division Director Brian Deloney, and Assistant Division Director James Williams and his crew responsible for making sure that this area got cleaned as well. I also want to welcome Mike Kaleka. He's with Grace Design Studio. They're doing the design work for this. I think he came the furthest for this. I think he came in from Arizona. So he's probably a little jet lagged, but thank you. Thank you for being here and helping us kick this off. And then finally, with Suffolk Construction, I believe Bill Wilson is here. Mr. Wilson, your work is cut out for you. We expect this project to start and finish on time. And we would expect and hope that it will be either on budget or under budget. So we're counting on Suffolk to do a tremendous job. It's my hope that we actually have a ribbon cutting of a new facility in mid-2028. So that's the goal. We'll see if you can accomplish that. It's truly a high honor to serve in public office, and it's a day like today that really makes it all worth it. This land dedication ceremony really is the official kickoff of this project, with commencement of construction scheduled for July of this year, completion of construction in approximately 2+ years after that. We live in a very generous community. None of this could happen if we didn't have a generous community. And the community is committed to making this more than your typical veterans nursing home. Now, veterans nursing homes around the state are wonderful facilities, but we wanted to make it maybe a notch higher, if you will. And so we're going to talk a little bit about some of the things that are going to be in this facility that are over and above what is normally in these facilities. You know, I didn't see any constitutional officers here. Before we move on, did I miss anybody from any constitutional officers? All right, good. And then I think we may have some House members here. Is Lauren Mello here? I'm sorry, Lauren Mello, her staff, Michelle, Michelle is here? And Representative Benner Roach, and I apologize, she's sitting right here. You know, it's on page 2 of this long list, and I didn't get the page 2, so sorry. And then we have Ashley Moody from, Senator Moody's office, Regional Director London Rotundo is here. Sorry about that. And then for Congressman Byron Donalds, we have Deputy District Director Steph Nurag. All right. I don't know why they put you guys on page 2, but sorry. Yes. So anyway, as I was saying, that we live in a very generous community, and we wanted to make this really a step above what you normally see in a veterans nursing home. And again, these nursing homes are wonderful facilities. I can tell you that what we've put together here in Collier County is already setting the national standard for new nursing homes going forward. This project is a reality because of the efforts of a lot of people. And I'm going to spend my few minutes talking about who these folks are and how this project really came to fruition. First, the generous citizens of Collier County. In 2018, the citizens of Collier County voted to tax themselves for this project. Now, there were other things included in that tax, but I believe that a major component of that approval process was knowing that a big chunk of those funds would be used for a veterans nursing home. We needed that in order to draw down matching federal funds. Without that vote, quite frankly, we would not be here today. I want to thank also the Florida Department of Veterans Affairs. Under their leadership, of General Hartzell. Without their dedication, without their hard efforts, we would never have gotten to this point either. They made sure that the application for federal matching funds was perfected, and I will tell you, we were ranked #1 for new nursing homes in the country. That's because of the efforts of the Florida Department of Veterans Affairs and the commitment of the citizens of Collier County to fund this project. So thank you. Now, where some of the real hard work was done, I want to talk about the County Commission. What did the County Commission do for this project? Well, first I will tell you the County Commission is fully committed to this. It's an honor to serve with these gentlemen, and there was never any hesitation in terms of moving forward with this project, no matter what it was. And by the way, there's going to be a couple more asks before it's all over with, so just buttering you up for what's coming. Now, the County Commission made a couple different commitments. One is that we want to provide the services for our veterans, the services that they earn. This is not a handout to our veterans. These are services that our veterans earn. We want them to get these services right here in Collier County. Now, there are other nursing homes, veterans nursing homes in Florida. I think it was just pointed out there are 9 of them, but we don't want our veterans to have to travel out of town to receive these services, away from their family, their friends, their loved ones. So that was a commitment made by this County Commission. We want services provided right here. Also, the County Commission made the commitment that we want to be recognized as the most veteran-friendly county in Florida. Ron DeSantis, a couple years back, said that he was going to make sure that Florida was the most veteran-friendly state in the nation. And well, we're going to tag along with that. We're going to be the most veteran-friendly county in Florida. We got some other veterans issues going on adjacent to this site that I think will help us achieve that objective. So another thing that the County Commission did is the County Commission took a very politically difficult vote in 2018 to put the sales tax on the ballot. We live in a very tax-averse community, a very conservative community, and so that was a bit of a difficult political vote, if you will, but it was a vote that the County Commission knew was the right one, and the citizens of Collier County certainly came to that and supported that. The County Commission dedicated $30 million for this project. Now, that's a lot of money, but the Commission was committed to making sure that this project got funded and that we were able to draw down federal matching funds. If the Commission had not done that, we would not be here today. The County Commission purchased this property. This was in 2019. Now, we purchased 167 acres for $29 million, and we didn't know what we were going to do with the property. And I remember going and speaking to a group here in Golden Gate City, and I was talking about this purchase, and somebody asked me, well, what are you going to do with the property? And I said, I really don't know. And he said, that is the dumbest thing I have ever heard an elected official say. You're going to spend public money, you're going to buy a piece of property, and you don't know what you're going to do with it. And I said, well, in all due respect, give us a little bit of time, we'll figure that out. So what do we have here? Just to the south of us, we have 330 of workforce housing units going up with some military funding, veteran housing, and some senior housing. Again, trying to solve some of the problems faced by people in this community. It was the County Commission that authorized that. We have, on this piece of property, this will be adjacent to this property, will be a public golf course. It's a joint venture with Arthrex. Arthrex is going to build and manage a public golf course for Collier County. Arthrex is going to bear all of the risk. They're going to build a clubhouse, they're going to build a restaurant, they're going to build a first tee facility for our kids. It'll be a first-class facility. It's because of the County Commission that Arthrex stepped up to take care of that project. Now, I mentioned that this facility is setting the standard for nursing homes going forward in Florida. And I will tell you that we do things right here in Collier County. We want to make sure that our citizens get the services they need, and we're willing to make political decisions, sometimes a little unpopular, but they're decisions that we know are in the best interest of the community, and this was one of them. Now, moving forward, we decided in order to make this a very special facility that we wanted to add an adult day health care facility to it. And lo and behold, the federal government does not pay for new construction of an adult day health care facility. And I will tell you, the addition of that facility is really instrumental in bringing services to our veterans. So the county commission appropriated $10 million out of the sales tax for the adult day health care facility. Again, a decision by the county commission to bring services to this community that are needed. Now, when this project was initially conceived, 2018, 2019, $30 million seemed like a lot and seemed like enough to draw down $74 million in federal matching funds. Well, things changed. COVID, supply chain issues, increased cost. And so the the commission went to the legislature and said, and to the Florida Department of Veterans Affairs, we need $10 million more for this project. And the Florida Department of Veterans Affairs was fully supportive of the ask. Our delegation went to work and got all that money for this. And it was a joint venture between the Florida Department of Veterans Affairs and Collier County and the legislature to get more money for this project. And I want to spend a minute talking about some of our staff. Obviously, mentioning anybody on staff is difficult and people get left out. But I want to mention a couple that I know worked very diligently on this. I mentioned Amy Patterson and Ed Finn, John Mullins. John Mullins did everything he was asked to do, and he did a great job with it, which we all know means he got asked to do a lot. And so he really made all of this come together. So John, thank you for all that you do. Colleen Green in the county attorney's office. We had some rather difficult documents that had to be prepared, some that had some fairly politically charged things in those documents. Colleen Green from the county attorney's office made sure everything got done, got sent to the state, and that all the I's and T's were dotted to make sure everything was done right. We had Brian Deloney with facilities, a lot of issues dealing with water and sewer, a lot of issues dealing with drainage, a lot of issues dealing with arsenic on the site. Brian Deloney made sure that any issue addressed by the architects or the engineers was addressed. He and his group did a tremendous job. Jennifer Belpedio and Roosevelt Leonard in our real property division, again, making sure that all the documents were provided. We needed an appraisal of the property. Roosevelt jumped right on it, got us the appraisal that we needed. So today, we are dedicating this site to our veterans who sacrificed so much for all of us. Without those efforts, obviously, we would not be here today. But this marks really the beginning of this project. But I wanted everyone to understand this does not mark the end of Collier County's involvement with this facility. We turn money over, we turn the property over to the state. They build the facility, they own and operate it, and we're going to support it. So we have a new group called the Friends of the Collier County Veterans Nursing Home. Kind of a catchy name. If anybody's got some better ideas, we can change that name. But this group is dedicated to raising money and making sure that the veterans in this nursing home have the things that they need. And also, we're committed to making enhancements to the facility. There are a lot of things that the state and federal government will not pay for in a nursing home. Big screen TVs in the sports club, in the sports bar. You may say, what, a sports bar in a nursing home? There's going to be a sports bar. There's going to be a sports bar in the nursing home. Spoiler alert, no alcohol, but there will be that there. Well, the state won't pay for big screen TVs, but the Friends of the Veterans Nursing Home will. There's going to be a coffee bar there as well, and this committee will pay for enhanced equipment for coffee and that sort of thing that the state just simply doesn't have the resources to do. In addition, enhanced landscaping. things like gazebos or seating in the open areas and around the facility. The state won't pay for a lot of that stuff. This group will raise money to provide enhancements to this facility. We want to make sure that this is a special place. Now, you may be a little surprised. The state doesn't pay for clothing, doesn't pay for books or computers, personal items, personal hygiene items. We're going to make sure that all of the veterans receive those facilities. I joined a group about 2 years ago because I wanted to make sure that this community came together with this project. And Rolling Thunder advocates for veterans, and they adopt nursing homes. And I was really surprised because they'll drive up to Port Charlotte to bring socks and underwear and things of that nature to the veterans in the nursing home. And I thought, well, we're going to have Rolling Thunder and the Friends of the Veterans doing that right here in Collier County. So we will raise money, and we'll make sure that this is a very special place. Our county commission cares about veterans, and they want to make sure, the commission wants to make sure that the veterans get what they need. Let me again just simply say that this will set the standard for the future. It's an honor for me to serve on the county commission, and it's an honor to serve with these gentlemen on the county commission. God bless our veterans, and God bless our active service, and thank all of you for your service to our nation.
Chairman Saunders, thank you very, very much. We appreciate everything that you've done to help make this day come to fruition. And now I'd like to introduce to you my boss, the Executive Director of the Florida Department of Veterans Affairs, retired Major General James S. Hartzell.
So the lieutenant colonel that works for the general told me I have 2 minutes. He also told me Bert was going to talk for 2 minutes. So, keeping in tradition and in line, I'm going to talk for about 20. So, just add a zero. No. First and foremost, we are very blessed to be here today. God gave us a beautiful day of creation to be here to dedicate this place, which is going to be hallowed ground. I really appreciate that being said. But I'm always thankful because some of us who served overseas when it was warm, hot, cold, sand, dirt, snow, it was always good to be home. And these were the kind of things that I thought about when I was gone from my family, is doing something like this, just to be home. And hearing our national anthem sung, having a color guard from VFW do what they did, to have our pledge led by a POW who made it home. And so I'm going to do something off script, all right? I rarely do this, but this is my Florida coin, my commander's coin. I'm going to give it to this gentleman here because he set the standard for me when I came in our military. Thank you, sir. So not only is this going to be the best in nation state veteran nursing home with all the things that Bert really did a great job talking about, he also has the best coin in nation. I'm just saying, so okay, right. 70 years, I'm going to talk about two things. My personal connection to Collier County, Naples, briefly, and then leadership, because that's what this is about. That's been discussed by Senator Pasadomo and by Bert Saunders. 70 years ago, a Marine corporal used to drive from Opelika Field Marine Corps Air Station over to Naples to preach on Sundays. Tamiami Trail, Alligator Alley, however he got here in that old 56 vehicle he had, he would come over and he told me he was doing it to preach. I know he was doing it to eat out of the chow hall, all right? He got some good home cooking over here. He would tell me about that because it was my dad. My dad came here 70 years ago, and he would tell me stories about Naples, Florida. To me, it was like the Shangri-La. I mean, seriously, like Naples and how he talked about it. So it was always a special place in my heart. Then when I retired after 2018, 37 years, I came back home to Florida. I'm born and raised here. And the governor asked me to come on board, do Veterans Affairs. I gladly accepted that. And I worked for a hospital company that used to be headquartered here, Health Management Associates. So I used to come down to Pelican Boulevard down there and go for strategic planning meetings. So I know Naples well, and I have some great memories of some great chow that I ate here too. But the good people here. So then I fast forward to now, today, and I have our Senate President at the time, Senator Pasadomo, was talking about Naples. I saw how we recovered from hurricanes here and how this community comes together. And then when the federal government told us through a survey that this was the place that we needed to build a skilled nursing facility for veterans who are 65 and older who need that care. How do you get into a nursing home in Florida? You're a Florida citizen first, and you're a veteran. That's the qualification. It's not hard. I'm looking out in the audience today, and I see people who are going to be some of our residents. You're here. Trust me. And you're going to be in the best nursing home in the nation. Not only was it the money that was appropriated by the federal government, it was the only money appropriated by the federal government for a new build veteran nursing home in the nation. None other except for Florida right here in Collier County. Yeah. And it is going to be a continuum of care. That's what's going to be special about this home. That's why it's going to be best in class. I had the opportunity to be the president of our National Association of State Veterans Affairs Senior Leaders. I lovingly say me plus 49 because they all follow Florida. But I was the president. They elected me president. And often they said, how did you get the money? I said, one, you need leadership. We have that in Florida. I'm going to talk about that next. Two, you need money. If you have those, and then you have to have a community who cares. That happened right here on this dirt that we're talking about and standing and sitting at today. That's why we're having this nursing home, the only place in the nation that got the money appropriated for a home. You know, it's a lot of money for the VA to invest in us. But it not only was the only home that the federal government invested in because they knew this is where they needed to build a skilled nursing facility in the Southeast, honestly. This community raised the money. As Chairman Saunders said, I got to, as president of our National Association, tout that and talk about that and market that amongst my 49 peers. Nobody else in America has ever done that before. I doubt they'll be able to do it because they don't have the money. You had the money. You raised it. The Senate helped reinforce that. That's why this is a special place. The community supports it. That's what makes this special. Thank you. All right, briefly, leadership. We are blessed in the state of Florida, and we are the most veteran-friendly state in the nation, but every state does claim that, and they should. And they should fight for that honor. But without a doubt, we're the most veterans sought-after state in the nation. More veterans and their families are moving to Florida than other states, and they've been doing that for years because they look at Florida, they see what we do, and they want to be here with their families. When they come off active duty, they want to move here for opportunity. When they've been off active duty and they're working somewhere else and they say, I need to raise a family, I want to come here, because they look at our schools, they look at what our communities are, all those things, how we support law enforcement. And I appreciate the law enforcement being at our back there watching us. Thank y'all, gentlemen. Okay. So they're all coming here. So my job is to keep up with all of them, connect them to the benefits they earned. And one of the benefits I love doing is doing skilled nursing care for veterans who need it. I'm putting my placeholder in for a room in this nursing home, all right? Just so y'all know, don't forget, all right? But leadership, we have a governor who is a combat deployed veteran, Navy. They did beat Army, by the way. I'm sorry. We have a lieutenant governor who's a combat deployed veteran, Army. We have a Secretary of Veterans Affairs, Executive Director, who's a Marine. And my deputy, who knows all about this, is Bob Astalos, who's talked about, and he was a Navy corpsman. So we had the full spectrum really coming and going there to help us out. Steve's Air Force, we always bring him in, all right. But we have this together, and that's leadership. So we had the leadership in place, and we had the fiscal accountability responsibility. That's why this is going to happen. Other states dream of it. Other states wish of it. Some of them have leadership. They don't have money. Some have money. They don't have leadership. Some of them have some great communities that really need a state veteran nursing home, but they can't get there because they don't have the other two. So we're blessed because of the leadership we have in the state. We're blessed because of the leadership you had in the Senate with the Senate President, Kathleen Pasadomo, who advocated, lobbied, and worked hard to make this happen. You're blessed because you have Bert Saunders and the rest of the commission who advocated, lobbied, and worked hard, came to Tallahassee over and over again, walking the hall, sitting and talking, saying what this community is going to do. You have the leadership. You gave us some money. We're going to make it the best in America, I guarantee you. So thank you for letting me be with you today. I at least took 5 minutes, Steve, all right? So we'll talk about that driving back. But I hope to come back. My plan, Lord willing, is to come back this summer for a groundbreaking. A groundbreaking. It's going to be awesome. And if it's wet, that's fine. Marines love dirt. We love rain. We're fine. I do see a Mortarman, Marine Mortarman back there, 0341. Thank you, sir. You're 250th. We're proud. We're proud in America. And that's what makes us different. Thank you.
I'm sure he meant nice things about the Air Force, don't worry. I'm the one who's going to assign him the room eventually, so he has to be nice to me. Well, the good news is we're coming toward the end, ladies and gentlemen, and so I'm going to ask General Hartzell and Chairman Saunders to come forward to sign the ceremonial property pledge.
Where's my crayon? Yeah, Marines have been playing with this. It's got dirt on it. Okay, I'm going to read this. Hopefully everybody can hear me. On behalf of the grateful citizens of Collier County, this 23.59-acre parcel is officially dedicated to the men and women who have served in our armed forces and pledged as a donation to the state of Florida to establish a state veterans nursing home. May this facility forever provide the care and comfort earned by those who sacrificed so much for our nation's freedom. Pledge this day, January 9, 2026. Bert L. Saunders, Chairman of the County Commission, and Major General James S. Hartzell, Executive Director of the Florida Department of Veterans Affairs.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we've come to the end of our ceremony, and we're going to pause for a few minutes while we reconvene at VFW Post 7721 for refreshments. And a similar pledge board will be there at the reception, and we ask all attendees to please sign that pledge board in support of veterans past and present. Thank you for attending today's ceremony.